Good afternoon, and welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I am Razzle11, and you can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. Going to take a look at the pitching for today, the 27th of September. It is Friday. We do have a 12-game main slate ahead of us. Uh, haven't heard a ton about weather. Think there is one weather spot. I just don't remember off the top of my head. It might not even be on this main slate, to be honest. Um, But yeah, we're going to take a look at the pitching options. Be looking at DraftKings as that is where a majority of my action is. If you play on FanDuel, I'll cut my pool into a half or even a third. Don't have to be as creative. Pricing isn't as tight. Scoring system being slightly different as well. Uh, we're heading into the last 3 days of the regular season, so there's a lot of question marks going on in my head. Um, this is kind of that point where pitchers aren't going as deep in general. With that being said, I do think there are some guys that will still get normal run, and then obviously there's a couple teams that are playing for something. But then there are also a few teams that have some guys pitching that I just don't think they're going to allow to go much deeper than 4 or 5 innings um, to close out either their season or to be ready for the postseason action. With that said, let's jump in here at the top. So one of the guys that I think is going to have some limitations leading into the postseason is going to be Ronel Blanco. The Astros are plugged into their number 3 spot. Um, Nothing's really going to change here. So it's just a matter of coming out of this series with Cleveland as healthy as possible. So I just don't see Blanco, in the 90 to 100 pitch range. Obviously, I'm sure it could happen, but I would guess some of these teams treat their starters similar to what the Orioles did with Corbin Burns yesterday. Uh, he went just 5 innings, 69 pitches, and was done for the day. Just getting him set up for game one of the series. So, not that Blanco needs to be ready for game one, but I just don't think that they're going to push him. I don't know if they have an arbitrary pitch number in play. To me, like I told members of the DFS Army, I believe that the Orioles had in their mind that Burns was going to throw 5 innings, and that was it. He just happened to end at basically 70 pitches. So I don't think I'm getting to Blanco. One big thing to look at would be uh, some of the outs recorded lines with sports books to get an idea of what they believe. Um, I just brought it up on my other screen. There's actually a ton of pitchers not even on this, so they're still trying to figure out data and go from there. One guy that I will play will be Max Fried. Uh, just 3 home runs allowed in 11 starts at home. Kansas City is a difficult matchup, but both teams are playing for something, which is pretty important. I mean, Kansas City did qualify for the postseason. I'm just not sure if they're playing for home field in their first round matchup. But we 100% know that Atlanta is battling the Mets and Diamondbacks to get into the postseason. So that's pretty important. So the game means a lot to Max Fried and the Braves. Uh, he's going to get a normal workload. He is a minus 185 favorite right now. K prop of 5.5 with juice on the over as well. So I think Max Fried makes a ton of sense. Another one that makes sense because the Yankees do need to win a couple games here to clinch home field. I know they clinched the division. Carlos Rodon against the Pirates. Plenty of upside. He's been spectacular when pitching at home. Even those K numbers are, I mean, they're about the same, slightly better rate when at home. They don't jump off the page at me. K prop is 7.5 with juice on the under, making a ton of sense. A minus 175 favorite. Um, may end up being one of my favorite pitchers on the slate. A ton of volatility to him, but I love the upside. And as a large field GPP guy, I'm all about upside. Jose Barrios, I'm not sure what to expect here. A veteran, game doesn't mean anything, but He's thrown the ball extremely well to finish the season. Um, they've been allowing him, he's approached 100 pitches each of the last two starts. He's at home where he's been phenomenal. He's a minus 225 favorite. K prop of 5.5. Juice is on the under, but slightly on the under. I think Barrios is in play. There are some questions of whether, he'd be pushed beyond 6 innings on his last start of the season, but love the matchup. Love him pitching at home, so I'm going to roll with it. Pablo Lopez, I'm going to skip over. He's had some pretty bad starts. He's capable of shutting down Baltimore again. And really, the Twins aren't out of it, but they have to win out and then hope that Detroit gets swept by the White Sox. So the odds are not in their favor. So I'm probably just going to pass on on Lopez against Baltimore. Sean Manaea against the Brewers. Um, Definitely, the Mets, like I mentioned, are stuck right in the middle of it. Manaea's been really strong for the last month, month and a half almost. It's just a strong spot. Obviously, there's some volatility to it. K prop is 6.5. Juice is on the under, but he is a minus 115 road favorite here, so I am interested. His overall numbers have been pretty impressive on the road. His K numbers are take a hit when on the road, but still, he's somebody that I want to utilize this evening as well. I'm not sure what to expect from you, Darvish. Uh, he threw the ball well his last time out, but that was against the White Sox. San Diego's in the postseason. Um, Arizona's battling, so I'm just probably going to skip over Darvish as well. Skipping over DeGrom, I know I've talked about potentially using him the last two starts, or his first two starts. He didn't see a pitch increase or anything. I'm pretty much going to be resigned to the fact that they probably keep him at 60 pitches to close out the season, just to go into the off season. So I'm going to end up passing on him. Brian Wu is somebody that I just don't know what to do with here. He's going to make my pool just because I love the matchup. He's dominated the A's. He's been a stud at home. Question is here is he's finishing the season not very strong. He's dealt with multiple injuries throughout this season. I just don't know how much the Mariners are going to push him. If something came out and they said that they were going to, he's going to throw the 90 pitches or so, then I'm completely fine. If something comes out where they're like, no, we're just going to have him throw 65, 70 pitches and only go 5 innings, I'm probably going to have to pass on him. So it's something we have to pay attention to. I do like the K upside in the matchup and the fact that he's pitching at home. Really stands out to me. This matchup between Taj Bradley and Nick Pivetta. Bradley, a ton of K upside. A lot of strikeouts against Boston this season, but he's also a young pitcher. I don't know if they're going to limit him at all. Um, they haven't, over a number of starts. He's even the last time out last week when they were definitely eliminated already, over 100 pitches. So that's why I think Bradley's probably safe. He's a slight dog at this point. K prop of 6.5 with juice on the under. The other side of it, Pivetta, K prop of 5.5 juice on the over. Being favorite. Plenty of Ks against Tampa Bay, but he does give up home runs. That's been the issue. He's at his best when pitching at home. Home run ball doesn't get him as much when at home. I love the upside. Like, this is a guy that could randomly just have 10 strikeouts through 5 innings. And honestly, like today where we have a lot of question marks, I think Pivetta makes a ton of sense for GPP upside. Scrolling down, not really anybody that stands out for me. I mean, like Sears against a big K matchup against an eliminated Seattle team. I think people could talk me into it. I don't think I'm going to go there at this point. Montes, I mean, the game means a ton to the Mets. Montes has shown some K upside, but he's also shown some pretty bad performances. 5 home runs allowed over the last 2 starts. Recent trends aren't the greatest. One guy that I will include in my pool just because I know what his upside is going to be Reed Detmers. This is gross. I don't even want to look at it, but here I have to. These games right here are not gross. If you would have got the win against the Dodgers, you're looking at over 30 fantasy points. Like, so we just know what kind of ridiculous upside he has. start number 2 of the season, 37 DK points. Just super volatile. He's like a Carlos Rodon light. Um, I just love the upside, and since I play large field GPPs, this is somebody that I want in my pool because when he's right and things go his way, he racks up fantasy points, and that's what we need. I'm not concerned about his extreme floor. Um, it's just mattered. Do I think he can access a portion of his upside? And I do. Texas hasn't exactly been overly dangerous. Seager out for the year. Josh Young, I think, is out for the year again. Obviously, we only have 3 games left, so it doesn't really matter. But still, a couple big names missing from the middle of that lineup. Um, Povich against the Twins that might have kind of given up. A former Twins minor leaguer. I guess he's somebody that I probably could consider. I'm just not going to go there. Just going to hope that he doesn't pull a start like he did against the White Sox and go absolutely wild. But um, maybe I go with him over Miles Mikolas. Mikolas right now is in my pool because he is pitching in San Francisco, a place I love to take pitchers. The more I think about it, the more maybe I should just take Povich and go with the upside um, at this point, just because I guess it's probably tougher for me to envision Mikolas putting up a point total where I go, man, I wish I would have had him. I think Povich has that slight range of outcomes that could be that guy that I go, you know what, I wish I would have played 10, 12% of Povich instead of 10% Miles Mikolas. So but there we have it. There's my first look at pitching options on the slate. If you enjoy what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, get the alert anytime we drop videos here at DFS Army. And if you want to join us, get access to our coaches, tools, sheets, Discord, etc. I will put links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, that's RAZ, for 10% off monthly. And as always, best of luck, everybody.